collective chat. And we are here to help you unleash your creativity, find your passion and desire of the person that you are here to be a little bit better. And you make my life a little bit better. And you make my life a little bit better. Be yourself. Be yourself, Lee. Be yourself. So welcome. My name is Kendall Smiley to the Collective Chat. And here we have, will you introduce yourself?
Karen Smith.
And Ryan McKinnon.
And how are you related to each other?
Yes, this is my daughter.
And you must be a fabulous daughter.
Oh,
So this is a touchy topic from what I understand, just from getting people to participate in this online talking about relationships and dating. So right now, are you currently in a relationship?
I am. I'm in a relationship. Fairly recent relationship.
Fairly recent. What about you?
I've been married for 12 years.
So with that being said, the questions kind of are going to span the whole entire topic. But we wanted to know, how did you meet your mate?
I actually met him online.
Online.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a very generational thing with my generation. I feel like, I mean, obviously, like when you were younger, you didn't meet people online. You met people out and about. But I feel like it's hard for me to meet people out and about because I work so much, and I work in a field that I don't work with men, I only work with women. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to meet men, and like on my days off, it's like I don't want to go to the bar and meet men because usually that's...
See, my generation went to the bar and to the club to meet people in person.
Yeah.
So are you on a dating app?
I am, yeah.
Which dating app are you on?
I was on Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
So have you tried any other ones?
I have, yeah. I tried OkCupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this was most successful?
Yes.
So how did you meet your mate?
I met him at the gym. I worked at the gym, and he came to the gym. And that's how I met him.
And together, you've been together for 12 years.
Yeah.
And so is it, now that you have the conversation with your daughter about meeting people, where is the disconnect?
There's a lot of things I think that have made it really difficult for the kids now. And one thing that I hate is texting, because I think that they're in contact with the people that they're dating all day long. And I've said to my daughter, how can he miss you when you won't go away? You know what I mean? Like you're always there. And you know, when I was dating, you'd get a phone call maybe once a day, and you know, make a plan for the weekend and go on a date. And I think things move so quickly because they're in touch all the time that they just fizzle out quickly, and they're on to the next. You know, so. That's the difference that I see.
It's a big difference. I think that your mother has a valid point there.
I agree.
But, you know, you also too, how do you get to meet people if you're so busy?
Yeah, it's tough when you're busy and you don't really, because it's hard now. I feel like she said, there's a disconnect. Everybody's on their phones, and you don't, like, every time I meet people, I feel like they're already in a relationship. The people that, like, I would be interested in, they're already in a relationship, or they... Like, it's hard to approach people because we have that disconnect because we're so into the technology now. It's like everybody is on their phones all the time. Everybody's on Facebook. I feel like nobody wants to talk in person anymore. I feel like it's so tough.
It's a huge difference in the change over generations. What do you ideally think would be a good mate?
I mean, it's hard because I feel like nobody is like this anymore. It's just somebody that's caring and, you know, compassionate, and somebody who can be there for you. But like, I don't know, I just feel like nobody's like that anymore. I feel like, especially at my age, nobody wants a relationship.
So what are they like?
Nobody wants a relationship. Nobody at my age wants a relationship, I feel like.
What do they want?
Just a hookup. And it's like, especially at my age, I feel like I just turned 21, everybody's like out just partying, and they're just trying to have a good time, and that's it. And it's like, it's not what I'm looking for.
So there's a big issue with trust.
Yeah.
Trust
Absolutely.
and honesty. If you're putting up a profile and you could say whatever you want about yourself and make yourself, and you bring your representative shows up, how do you trust someone? How do you try to build that so that you can have a quality relationship?
I mean, you have to just hope for the best a lot of the time. You get to know people, like she said, you get to know people faster, so you can kind of tell if they're honest or not. Usually, I have a pretty good perception, I feel like, of whether people are honest or not. But then you see, like, when I'm on dating sites, you see the people with no profile picture, and you're like, okay, this is clearly somebody who's cheating on their girlfriend, and they're just trying to get around, and it's like, that's scary. You never know. You never know if they're cheating on you. They could be on a dating app cheating on you, and you never know.
What are your thoughts about trust and honesty then?
It's so difficult. It's so difficult. And just from seeing her and her friends and things that go on, and you know, back in my day, it took a while to get to know somebody. You know what I mean? You would go on a series of dates before, you know, things got serious, and things get serious so fast, and sometimes before they even meet each other face to face. And then, you know, the littlest things, well, it's like disposable. You know what I mean? Like, I see you, you know, and we're getting along, and then you say something I don't like, and you're gone, next. You know what I mean? And
And then with the miscommunication with text message.
Yes. That's the worst thing ever, because I'm like the worst at figuring out messages. So like I always jump to the conclusion that like whatever they're saying is the worst thing. So I feel like that, like, sometimes I pick up the phone and I'm just like, can you just like explain that text message to me, because I don't understand. Because it could be that you're being a jerk, or it could be that you're just wording it wrong and you forget to put punctuation, because a lot of people don't know how to put punctuation in their text messages, I feel like. So it's tough. I feel like you have to meet face to face, because otherwise you're not going to know. You're not going to.
So how do you pursue going on that first date after you met someone online and now you're trying to have the conversation with text message to make it happen so that you have a place to see each other face to face?
Yeah, usually it pretty much, if you're having a good conversation through text message, it's usually going to be a good conversation in person. Sometimes it doesn't. I've had the experience where it hasn't, and it's been like a terrible conversation and there's like nothing. And I mean...
So what's ideally the perfect date then?
I mean, when you go out and you feel like you connect with the person, when you feel like you have a really great connection, you can talk, your conversation flows, because you're gonna have you have to be able to have that conversation flow, especially in the first date, because if you're not having that conversation flow in the first date, you're not gonna have it later on. It's not gonna just appear out of nowhere.
Because I could write a great book on a text message, but then when you see someone in person, you might not be able to have that conversation about what you like, what you don't like.
Well, you have to like, sometimes people will be like, and it's like an interview the first date, I think, too. And like my boyfriend said that when we were on our first date, it's like, I feel like the first date is like an interview process, and I'm like, well, it's not supposed to feel like that, but
where's the love?
Yeah,
where's the
that wasn't
or the desire to want to be with someone?
Yeah, so like that, he was like, I felt like that was what it was going to be like, but it wasn't, luckily. We had a really great first date, so that was why we were together still. Like, we had a great first date and it was awesome, but you know, you have to have that conversation flow, and it has to feel like you're not like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite hobby? What do you do for fun? What do you do for work? Like, you can't just like shoot out questions back and forth, because then it's going to be like, well, this is like robotic. Do you have this like on a note card in your pocket? Like, did you rehearse all this? Because you want to be able to have that conversation.
More genuine.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So how is it that when you look at her and you see what she's going through, how do you give her, what advice would you give her, or what advice would you give to the next generation if the turn of events is happening where mostly everybody's meeting on a dating app versus grandparents' generational difference between meeting at a social club or the VFW? They met each other at dances. That's how they got to know each other. They saw each other. They were attracted to each other by their look or that initial, feeling that you get when you're looking at someone's picture. So what advice would you give to the next generation, to your niece, your nephew, your future children, to say, how is it that we're going to make it so that we all have a better communication with each other in this society of social media, when we're all not actually looking up from our phones and having a conversation? And how are we truly going to find the love or the one true person that allows us to be ourselves?
Well, I have her tell me if she's going on a date where she's going to be, because I tell her we don't know who these people are. So you saw them through a text message or through your app.
Yeah.
So I have her let me know where she's going and what time she's going to be there, and go ahead. I mean, she's 21. So I try to tell her not to text so much, you know what I mean? Like, just to, you know, let it sit for a little while, you know what I mean? And I think the biggest thing is, you know, relationships take some work, you know what I mean? They take some effort, and, you know, somebody says one wrong thing, or you didn't like their text message, it's like, I'm not speaking to them anymore. And it might be somebody who's really great, and because they made one mistake, you're throwing them out. And you know, people make mistakes, and that doesn't mean that they're bad people, and you know, everybody deserves a shot. You have to invest in something, you know what I mean? If you give it a shot, you know, even if you're not so sure, you know, give it a little effort and see if you can make something happen. I mean, yeah, I've been married for 12 years, you know, every day isn't great. You know, there's some bad days, there's great days, and you know, I'm not gonna throw my husband out because I had a bad day, you know what I mean? And I see these kids doing that, you know, and they'll, you know, I'm never speaking to him again, and they get back on next, okay, I'm going on a date tonight, and
It's just very easy.
it's very simple. It's like an old toaster, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
it's
just
working
a
for me, so I'll go
toaster.
get a new one, you know, and it's just awful. I think it's really sad for them. I really feel bad that this is the way it is for them, because it's so difficult.
So what is really your definition of love?
Me? I would say somebody that's there for you, somebody that's caring, loving, somebody that's going to show you that they actually care, because you can say all that you want. You can say, oh yeah, I love you, I care about you, I'm always here when you need me, but it's the action, because everybody, I can say that I love it, I can say that I love anybody, you know, but it's me showing that I love that person that's going to like make it actual love, and just being there, because a lot of times I feel like people aren't there for each other, especially in my generation. It's like, sometimes I'll look around and I'll be like, okay, where is the people that when I need them? Like, my mom's always there for me, like, why can't, like, a guy or one of my best friends be there for me? Like, it's somebody that's going to be there for you when you need them, and I feel like that's just utter love. Like, you need somebody that's going to be there for you.
I agree. I think absolutely that love is an action word, and it's said really, you know, on the fly.
It's thrown around.
It doesn't mean much, but, you know, the proof is in the pudding, really, you know what I mean? If people are actually there, and you can tell who's gonna, you know, be available and who's gonna be there, and it's about the action more than it is about the words, and, you know, I hope she finds that, I really do.
Well, we hope you find love and success and happily married like your mother.
Yes, I hope so.
So thank you very much.